Hello everyone, I'm Tanya.
And I'm Jason.
And we're from
the Board Game Nook.
Today we're going to talk about Amrtaka, the Battle for Immortality by NRK Chari and Undertake Games.
It plays 2 to 4 players in 60 minutes, and it's a hand management area control quest. For immortality.
In this game, we are powerful leaders, and we are in search for the Nectar of Eternal Life, which is hidden somewhere in 30 celestial islands. In the very middle of this is a magical divine lotus flower that holds the elixir of life. Now, we're going to try to get there with our powerful celestial warriors, with our armies, and with our magical portals.
Made it. The game of Amrtaka ends in one of 2 ways. The first way is after 30 actions have taken place, and the second way is if a player gets 60 elixir on their turn, the game ends immediately and they are the winner. Now, on your turn, you're going to have 4 basic actions, 3 main actions, and 1 rest action. The rest action is basically just to skip a turn. You're going to discard a card, and you're going to draw a new one into your hand.
Yeah.
Now, let's talk about the 3 main actions. There's Occupy, Reinforce, and Conquer. The Occupy step is when you move your character and you take over a place on the board that has no presence available. You take the Reinforce action when you want to add armies and exchange the warrior card of your current location or the location you're moving to. So you're basically reinforcing your own land. And the final main action is to Conquer, where you move your leader and you attack another player, taking over that location on the board.
Now, the main aspect of this game is movement or counting your movement. Your movement also counts as your strength. So when you pick your card, it will have a value on it. And so this value is 4, meaning that I can go clockwise or counterclockwise on the board 4 times. When I add armies to this card, which can be up to 3 tokens, the armies themselves, there's 2 strength and 1 strength. So if I added 3 tokens, I could have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 strength.
So, as Tanya saying, there's 4 strength on the warrior card, and then you add in the additional armies.
Correct.
Once you know what that total is, you're going to move your leader. So each main action actually takes place over like several mini steps. The first mini step is you're going to pick your warrior card for the turn. Then you're going to decide whether or not you want to reinforce it with armies off your player board. Then you're going to calculate out the strength total of the armies and the warrior, and you're going to have that many movement points to go around the board.
That's right.
When you move around the board, you can go clockwise or counterclockwise. After you've done your movement, you're going to have the decision to take an extra action, like a special action, that's optional. And that can be one of 2 things.
Yes, you can make a portal. It'll actually be on your card. So each individual card has different movements they can make. So this guy can, wherever he's placed, he can skip a section, an island, and then go to the next one. He can go to every second space. This one, literally just from one end of the celestial spiral to another. So once you finish your moves, your normal moves, you can do that as a special ability. The other thing that they can do is place a portal down.
Or take a portal action.
Take a portal action, exactly. So they can place it on where your leader is or on an island that they occupy.
You can also move a portal from a place where you occupy to your leader if the leader's location is unoccupied. And you can also teleport units using the teleport action.
Now, there are some niggly little rules. We're not going to get into them. Like, for instance, if you're reinforcing, you'll do your movement, but you can only reinforce with 1 token.
You said we weren't going to get into
I know.
But the biggest action that we'd like to talk about is conquering or combat. So the first, with a combat action, you're going to go through all the same steps, but the first thing you have to identify is whether or not you're even allowed to conquer. And that's done by looking at what your strength total is with your reinforced armies and the armies and your warrior total, and you're going to compare that to the location that you want to attack. As an example, if the blue player has a warrior value of 6 plus 3 armies, each value 2, they have a strength total of 12. To be able to go to that location, I'm going to have a higher strength total after the portal movement of 13 or higher.
Yeah.
That's the only way that you're allowed to do your attack.
And you have to have the matching colored card. So this is a blue colored card that's arranged. You also have to have a blue colored card, and you need to use your weapon to do that. That it has to be ranged.
So you match the color first, and then you're going to play a token from your board for the corresponding warrior. So this warrior has a bow. You'll have to have a bow on your board, which means that attacks are going to be very, very
Useful.
limited.
Well,
limited and useful. Yes. Yeah, as you play the game, you're gonna get elixirs, and I'm just gonna come back to Conquer in just a second. When you occupy a land, you're gonna get just 1 elixir.
Yes.
When you conquer a land from another player, you're gonna get 5 elixir, making it a very valuable
action to do, because you can if you occupy an island and you end up getting 15 strength for that island, then you get
mainland immortalization.
There we go. Mainland immortalization. Then you actually get 15 elixirs right off the bat. It's not difficult to do for the beginning of the game, but it does get harder and harder, and with more players, of course, it gets harder because the islands are going to be taken up. So it is okay to get the 15 elixir, but more than likely you're going to get your points in this game by attacking others and getting five elixirs every time you do that when you win.
So after you've determined your action for the turn, one of the main actions, or to rest and discard and exchange cards, you're going to move on to the God Follower step, which is acts as 2 things. It gives you bonuses during the game, and it acts as the timer for the game. So every turn that is taken, the gods will move down 1 step.
Yep, so they'll just be like, that's my turn, this one's Jason's turn, this is my turn, this is Jason's turn.
And once they end up in a outer island, if you control that mainland, you get that special ability. And the 2 special ability, there's 4 different ones.
Is there 4? Wow.
5. Sorry.
No.
Yeah. You can get one bonus elixir, 2 bonus elixir, 3 bonus elixir,
yes.
Or you can have passive benefits, which
like
are
a portal, an extra portal other than your 2,
and
immortality.
So when you're attacked, you don't lose units, which I suppose we should have mentioned. When you get attacked, you only lose the difference between the 2 players.
In strength.
Yes.
So if Jason attacked with 14 on this 12 space, then Blue would lose 2 strength. So he would take one of his 2 armies away and put it in the death portal. But if you have the Immortal token on that island, then
they don't die.
They don't die. They go back to your board, which is good and useful because you need these guys to get your strength up so that you can either win the Immortal Islands or you can defend yourself or attack others.
And the final thing I just want to mention is that everything is component limited. So you can only attack if you have the tokens available. You only have 6 Strength 2 armies and 6 Strength 1 armies. So once they've been used or once they die, unless they come back to your board, you're just very limited.
Mm-hmm.
Also, when you make a mainland immortal, one of the ways to get your things back is once it becomes immortalized, you get everything back.
That's right.
So you'll get your soldiers back, you'll get your portal back, and you'll get your armies back. So
yes, very, very good to do that. We're not going to go over all the rules, but those are the main ones.
All right, let's talk about player count very briefly, because it's going to curtail into our strategy talk later. Mm-hmm. But basically, this game can be played from 2 to 4 players.
Yeah, like 2 players or 3 players or 4, but there's only 30 turns, period.
30
Never
actions,
changes.
that's
30
it.
actions.
Which means that in a 2-player game, you're going to get 15 actions each, and in a 4-player game, 2 of the players will get 8 actions, and 2 of the players will get 7 actions.
It's not so nice, guys. It's not so nice.
It's a weird, if you're the first player, it feels off to not have equal player turns, and it is quite a big disadvantage. Now, the creator did say you can play 2 additional turns, but then that sort of disrupts the God Follower track.
Yeah.
Now, with 30 turns, the sweet spot, at least what we found, was maybe 3 players.
Yes.
Because
you're still getting all equal turns.
And you're getting 10 each, which is about the right amount. At 2 players, we found with 15 actions, the game was ending more likely with 60 elixir anyways, so you didn't really need the extra 5 actions. But yeah, let's just talk about strategy, I guess.
Yeah.
The
yeah, he's gonna talk about strategy.
The strategy of this game is twofold. The
Yes.
first thing that you always want to do is attack.
Yeah.
Conquer.
You do.
When you're occupying a mainland and just moving to that spot to place down a card and place down your banner and everything, that's great. But you only get one elixir.
Yes, when you occupy, it's just 1 elixir, and you're not going to be able to get 15 strength on that turn when you do that. It gets tricky.
So, and if you attack, you get 5 elixir. Now, this is going to be maybe a little number crunchy or not. I'm not sure, but basically the way it works out is if you have the first play of the game, you put out your card.
You must occupy.
Yes, and then you want to ensure that you put out at least 6 strength, because if you don't,
try to defend.
Second player in the game is going to immediately attack you.
Yeah.
There's no reason for them not to.
That's right.
Because it essentially acts as like 2 actions. You gain the territory, you increase its strength, and you have it for future turns.
And you get 5 elixir for doing that.
So the second player of the game usually ends up getting 5 elixir to player 1's 1 elixir.
Now the only thing that's going to stop them is your card hand, right? It's you definitely, like, a 7 is fantastic for strength, but you have to go 7 times around plus whatever your armies are worth. So you have to make sure that when you're going around clockwise or counterclockwise, you're ending on that person's island to do that. So maybe you don't have the proper number that you have on the card or with the army itself, and then maybe you can't actually attack. But other than that, there's no reason not to.
Yes.
It's well worth it. That if you have more strength, plus you need their strength plus 1 to win, you definitely want to do it for sure.
Yes, every single time, which means that the first few turns are sort of scripted. Example, if you, like, I guess the Ranger Warrior cards goes from 3 to 7.
Yes.
You do not want to be playing out a 3 card. It's just basically 5 free points for your opponent. And especially at the start of the game when you can go anywhere, it makes no sense. And even later in the game, it's not going to be strong enough to even attack your opponent if they put out even a 6 or a 7.
You don't want to reinforce with a 3.
So the 3s almost act like dead cards in your hand.
Unless you need it desperately for just going 3 spaces to attack someone.
Or at the very end of the game, you just need to move 3 spaces to achieve one final mainland immortalization.
Yeah, immortalization. See, that's why I make you say that.
It's strange because the difference in cards, a 7 is just better. It's so much better in this game. Yeah. And then, so at the start of the game, if you draw 7 and you put down 3 strength 2 armies and put down a portal, that's going to stand for the entire game. And then in future turns, your opponent's probably not going to be able to take it.
Yeah.
And
it'll take them a while to accumulate their strength and with portals and move and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, well, it'll be extremely difficult because the stars will have to line to be able to take that.
Yes. And sometimes, like if you're Jason, his entire hand will be blue, and so he can't attack green, and then his entire hand will also be just 4s, so he won't be able to move anywhere or do anything. So that's fun.
The start of the game, basically you're going to be able to do anything.
Yeah.
Later on in the game, especially in a 4-player game, you can get hamstrung with what you're able to do. Yes. And so this is where I think the funnest part of the game comes in. It's looking at your hand and knowing, okay, I have blue cards or range cards, which means I can only attack ranged players, or I have green cards or a mix. So you want to manage your hand, not necessarily by the value in it, but by the color.
And those.
And
choices are preferable.
And again, as your armies are also limited, so you only have 6 of each, you also don't necessarily want to... it's very important when you use mainland immortalization to bring your units back to you. And it's very important to have a mixture of both the 2s and 1s to give you more spaces to move on the board.
And as the game goes on, as you're attacking people, remember, if you want to attack a green with a green, that's great. But this green is an axe. So you have only 1 axe token and you use it to attack. It is gone forever. So the next time you want to attack a green person, you have to make sure that you have a card that has something else like a trident or a sword, because your tokens start to run out. They don't come back.
So I guess... the best part, like there's the puzzle of the movement. You have to figure out how many spots you can move.
You are going to be doing this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're going to be doing that. You're going to be doing that a lot.
And then you're going to use the special movement to generally get where you need to be, especially since you can only build 2 portals.
Yes.
During the game. So where you place your portals and how you move them around is also very important. And I know we're sort of just going all over the place with the strategy, but that's because this game, when I first started thinking about it and working through, I thought, okay, there isn't that much strategy.
It seemed very streamlined. That literally is just like the numbers that you have or the numbers you have to use and what can you do with what you have. And really, as you start to think about it, it's like, well, actually, if I use this special ability instead of portaling, that makes the difference. If I can use only 2 armies that are worth 1 rather than 4, then that'll get me to this spot, which then I can use the special ability to get me that spot. So it's very simple, but there's layers to it that are very, it can be intricate.
Sort of hand management, making sure you have what you need,
a little bit of luck.
A lot of luck, yes, and timing.
Yes.
When you do those specific things. For instance, you don't need to immortalize your land immediately.
That's right.
You can have 1 land until the final turn of the game.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. There's also the god followers themselves also sort of dictate your movements. Like you want to ensure that you have the outer island that gives you 3 points. Now, at the start of the game, all the god followers are face down, so you don't necessarily, it's sort of random where you go to.
Yeah.
But once it's been established that, Area 7 has a god follower of 3 points, that becomes a focal point of the game, because if you attack and conquer, you now get 5 elixir plus 3.
That's right.
Now, that doesn't sound like a lot, but on a single turn, you can only get 15 points or 15 elixir maximum. So if you immortalize 1 location, that's your scoring for the turn. It doesn't matter if there's a god follower there. So it leads to like this timing game of, okay, I want to make sure I'm here when I need to be here. Yep. And I want to attack, and I want to make sure I get 3 points for attacking plus 5. And then on the next turn, then get my 15 elixir.
Yes, because then that's also important to say, okay, so I'm going to make sure that I have, 3 tokens for armies here, but then I have 2 tokens for armies here with portals, so that the next time I can converge, I can protect myself, I can defend myself, and I can immortalize. So it's just, it's a push and pull of this game. It's really quite good with strategy. There's a lot.
There is a lot. In the middle.
Yes, it's not complicated. No.
In the middle of the game,
yes.
There's strategy.
Yes.
It unfolds as you're playing. At the start, it's very scripted, based off the cards, and then at the end, it's also very scripted because you
only have 30 turns.
You only have 30 moves. That's right, and because there's a maximum amount of 15 points. In a 4-player game, for instance, you don't even have to play out the final 3 turns.
That's right.
If the first player in rotation ends up getting, let's say, 16 points above the next 3 players, you can literally skip the last 3 players' turns because you've won.
And you're not going to be able to make it up. There's no catch-up mechanism.
Exactly. It's all on the board, and that is...
Or you just don't even get a turn at all, like I did, and that kind of made me mad. But... wouldn't have made a difference, okay? But I still would have liked to have had equal amount of turns.
I really do wish, that there was a catch-up mechanism, or maybe not, like maybe a way to get more than 15 points in a turn, so that at least there's reason to play out the final player's turns. So Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean,
We're gonna
that was a little rambly, but hopefully
hopefully you guys like that, because we're gonna talk more about it. So what are our final thoughts on this game? Well, as with all games to learn, once you learn the movements and when you can place things down and when you can't, or how many you can put down, it does flow very, very nicely. This game.
And the counting and the patterns were fun. Like I liked looking at my cards, trying to devise, okay, can I attack this person?
Like I want to go here. Can I go here? That's a totally different
is there a card in my hand that lets me do that special movement? Or, oh man, I really need to build this portal, or I really should have built that portal.
Yeah. Many times it was, did you move the turn markers? Okay, let's come back.
Oops.
And do that. Those little things, those are just a little bit of learning curve. But with a 4-player game, it's one of those things that it's strategic, but it can also be luck-based, and the beginning can be scripted to whatever your cards are. I got all of the 7 strength cards, and so I just put them down, and
she was just throwing out 7s like they were just growing on trees.
Put up my defenses with my armies, and they couldn't attack me or hit me for a while, and that was really great.
And in that same game, I got only 4 blues.
Yeah,
like 4 strength and blue cards, which really limited what I could do.
And when you have those very, very limited turns in a 4-player game, because there's only 30 in the whole game, that if you have to say, well, I guess I'm going to have to refresh, I'm going to put down a card,
discarding and picking up hurts.
And not do anything.
It basically, it puts you out of contention for winning.
Yeah.
Because any turn that you're not scoring points, even 1 point, that other player has now taken a property. And no catch-up mechanism means, especially in a 4-player game, if you have to draw a card, it hurts.
It does. But once you get used to it, once you're actually the rules, once you're there, once you're in the zone, this is a very fast game. It's only about an hour.
Incredibly fast.
So you're attacking people and you're killing them off the board, and your cards are not showing up, and you're crunching the numbers going, okay, but if I do this, I gotta go that way. If I go that way, I gotta do this way. It's only an hour when you get used to it, and that makes it fun.
It doesn't hurt as much when you have bad luck, when it's just an hour game. You can, set up another one and play another one.
Yeah.
Now, who is this game for?
Yeah.
You have to like conflict.
Yep.
You can play nice and just occupy the lands 2-player and just sit down, but then it's not embracing the core concept of this game, which is, Amrtaka. Yeah. I want to be immortal, not you.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Attack, take their stuff, gain. It's great in that sense. But yes, it is very, you do have conflict. At the end of the turn, when someone attacks you and then someone else attacks you, now you're wiped off the board and then you have no turns left. It is, you have to have good friends for that, okay? A real strong relationship when that goes down. But for a beginner who likes to have
if you like puzzly movements,
movement.
and you like area control, or you're just being introduced to area control, then this might be a good starter game.
This game for sure is my jam. The cards, as you guys know if you watch any of our YouTube stuff, I don't like words on cards. I don't like I don't like to read. I don't like cards to be like, I could do this and I could do that, I could do this, I could do that. And this card, especially for area control, it's like, no, I'm just gonna, if I have +1 strength than you, I'm just gonna do it. Done. And it's easy that way.
And it's deterministic combat. You can't even initiate combat unless you're gonna win. Yep. So that's all taken care of.
Yep.
Now, this game, my final thoughts is this game is close to where it needs to be. Now, the more I thought about doing this review or preview, and the more I thought about the strategies and stuff, the more I began to like the game. That's not to say I didn't like it initially and I wouldn't play it again. It's just, it felt a little bit lacking.
That's right. The first time we played this with our gaming crew, they were terribly frustrated. They were just like, oh, I can't do this, I can't do that, I have this, I have to count this, and when I do that, it doesn't line up, and I can't do what I want to do. It was very, very frustrating, and it seemed surface level. If you can't do what you want to do, that's it. That's the end of the game. But
in this game, you can almost always do something.
Give it
unless you get some bad luck.
Yes.
Now, the other thing that I really wish this game had embraced, or it still can, because it's on GameFound right now, or this is a preview, is maybe asymmetrical powers, or possibly different warrior abilities. Like maybe instead of having every warrior being able to portal, maybe only some can build portals, and maybe some can place banners elsewhere, or maybe
he wants more words on the cards, guys.
not more words. I just
he wants more choices.
The game is very it's scripted at the start and at the end, so I would just like a little more variation in the gameplay, and I think that could be easily achieved by asymmetrical powers on the player boards. Maybe a spell deck, like a secondary deck where you can cast spells on your turn. Maybe a way to stack warriors on a single location. Maybe different warrior powers. Like it's close. End game objectives maybe to just switch it up, or maybe a few other god follower abilities. Like again, the game is, in my opinion, almost there. Like it's good, but it could definitely be better with some expansion content.
But for right now, I enjoyed the game. It was fast, which is definitely my jam. And it was not too terribly complicated, nor was it too simple. It was fun to follow, great to count endlessly, and just play out the turns.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
If this is something that sounds interesting to you, be sure to check it out on crowdfunding. It should be launching pretty quick here, if not when this video launches. So
that's right.
Thank you, everyone.
Yes, thanks for watching.
Have a great day.
All right, bye for now. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Board Game Nook.
I'm not even going to justify that.
What are we going to do? The same thing we always do.
All right, let's go again.
Good job, Jason. Can't see your name. That's gross. Good job, bruh.